Are we warm up there on the big screen? Are we there? Are we live?
We are
Are you sure
live.
we're live?
We're live
I'm
and we're
not sure I'm
local.
alive. Hold on.
We're ready to talk, real talk.
Hold on.
Oh, I don't even want to
I'm
know.
looking.
Uh,
There was a little bump. That's about
beep,
it.
beep,
Well,
beep.
I do have at least a semblance of a pulp.
Hey, as
Oh,
long as you don't hear beep, you're fine.
I hear that in here all the time, though. Remember, we got tones in this place. Over the hump and around the bend. Next stop,
Yay,
the
Grandma's house.
North Pole. In 1 week ye shall be awake, getting up, looking to see if jolly old Saint Nick made a stop at your home. If not, then that should be the handwriting on the wall. If not, it's not too late to start working for next year, though. This year, too late.
Rayford.
And unless something more important pops up within the next minute, we're going to talk about what those of us who should go without can do to become better people. Good Thursday, or as the Donkey Man says, Happy Friday Eve, the
That's
weekend for
right.
many of those big wigs. All you folks out there, big wigs with jet aeroplanes and stuff, it begins at only 19 hours at high noon. I'm Rayford Brown, your cynical host again today.
And I'm Lee Barrels, and I just show up.
No, you don't. You show up and
I'm here. Good
Yeah.
morning.
so anyway, Chris is out today. He's
Yes.
got some business to attend to.
Yeah, he should be
He's
calling in
shopping.
sometime this morning.
He's made a list.
I made him a list of what we needed. And so
Oh.
hopefully he's out shopping for that today.
Okay. Kind of hot outside today compared to.
Well, it was nice not to have to put on the mittens and the long underwear and the boots and the
And the
knee
what?
socks and the boots
Oh.
and the knee socks and yeah, Rayford.
Mm. Well, Christmas 2025 will be behind us in just a few hours, literally a week. Officially, it ends at high noon on the 25th. At high noon on the 25th, Christmas is one and done.
Why?
How do I know that? Well, that's when radio stations from coast to coast will resume regularly scheduled programming, sending Christmas music once again to the small closet in the back of the music library. And if Chris were here, he would tell you that is a fact, Jack.
All right, I'm tuning in to any radio station I can get up on my
Just
radio
playing music,
at
playing
12:01.
just playing Christmas music on next Thursday. Listen
All
to
right,
them in the
listen.
morning, and then at 12 o'clock, see what happens.
Do you have a favorite Christmas song?
All of them.
Do you have
Except
one that
Grandma
grates on your
got run over-
nerves?
Grandma got run over by a reindeer.
Yeah, my grandson, when he was little, he loved that
I
song.
didn't. I never have
Well, do you have one that grates on your nerves?
that one.
Mine is Feliz Navidad, only because
You hear it so much.
you hear it so much. And
It's okay. I don't hear it that much because I've got dials on my radios. There's one called There's lots of stations you can get, right? You can
right,
get WABC, WCBS, WTVD, W this, W that. You can get all those radio stations, right?
right.
There's one that I can tune that takes care of all of that problem. WOFF.
W off.
The little dial on the side of your radio that says click,
That was a good one, Rayford.
go.
Well, you know, when my years at the post office working inside and they
It was
would play
warm.
Christmas music. We were not allowed to play religious Christmas music. And it just ain't the same song over and over again, Feliz Navidad. And I'm like, if y'all don't find something else to
I
play.
think that's a Christmas. I think that's a religious song.
Then you would go to the grocery store, and what's playing in the grocery store? Feliz Navidad.
Yep.
It got to where I just couldn't handle hearing the song
It
anymore.
grated on your nerves.
It did. It
Oh, I'm
grated.
sorry.
It's like cheese. Grating cheese.
Oh my. Okay, whatever. All right, let's start at the top today. Thinking of people
Right.
who might need to change their ways to get on the nice side of things between now and next year, only because he's our president and his actions have such a profound, if not profane, effect on 300 plus million Americans. I would normally list him at the top of the list here as a guy that's probably not going to get anything for Christmas. But given that the fate of the entire world depends on how really stupid the likes of Vladimir Putin, Volodymyr Zelensky, Xi Jinping, Nikki Maduro, I bet he likes to be called Nikki, and Kim Jong Un, and a few others lurking in the shadows are, and what they've done time to make our lives impossible. To take a look at the damages they've done and continue to do, and they should start working individually to become a person worthy of a revisit from Santa Claus next year. Ain't going to happen this year. Not too far behind them, though. I didn't put Trump on that list, but he ain't that far behind. Not now. The difference, though, as usual, in my opinion, now hear me out. I'm going to give you the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Okay.
In my opinion, between him and all of the others I mentioned, is that he came into the position less than a year ago with what I think were great plans and great ideas. In many of his cases, his plans were good ones and with some scrapes and bruises have been implemented for our betterment. I feel like I'm better off today than I was a year ago. Okay? There are some bumps and places there he needs to work on. The problem with those programs that I think are good ones is that he hasn't been able to successfully sell them to everyone, not even a majority of the people in this country. No doubt the silent majority is happy with his efforts to work on the illegal debacle that we have, but Trump has failed to get the dissidents on board for that project. They have got to go. We are spending way too much money to support them, right? It's costing us too much money, not just to support them, but to deal with them. Just let them go to a court. We got to hire new judges just to deal with them. They're not supposed to be here in the first place. No, sir, Mom. Take your mess back home, apply, and come back in the legal way.
I agree.
That's the only way you can do this. I'm not opposed to immigration. I'm opposed to illegal anything. Got it?
Right.
But that's not his worst problem. His comments after the murders of Rob Reiner and Reiner's wife were despicable, even a step below Obama guessing. Remember this? Y'all forgot about this. Guessing that and telling everybody that a white cop was bad when he shot a black guy up in New York until the evidence was revealed. Turned out totally legitimate shooting. But Obama didn't walk that back either. Trump will do like he has become commonplace. Nah, wait it out and maybe people will forget. Don't discuss it. Maybe people will forget. He shouldn't have discussed it in the first place. Maybe people would not have known how ridiculous his feelings were. They forgot what Obama said. You did. You didn't. You don't remember that until I reminded you of it.
I do not remember that.
They forgot what he said. It was pretty despicable, especially among cops, as you can imagine.
Oh, I can imagine. Oh, yes.
But I seriously doubt that America will forget this anytime soon and will not forgive him for it either. Not anytime soon. Maybe not ever. The sad thing is that good people who must continue working with Trump, particularly Republicans, will now have to deal with the fallout in next year's midterm elections,
Absolutely.
which are right around the corner, and especially the presidential election in 2028.
Absolutely.
Those Republicans who are good people are going to have to deal with that.
My advice is run on your own.
Oh, they're going to do that, I'm sure. But if they've been associating with him, they're going to be, aren't you? What do you think about what happened there? What are they going to do then? Offend those people who will defend Trump to the death, regardless?
Well,
if he walked in and started shooting Secret Service agents, there are people out there that would defend him. You know that, right? He's got that kind of people behind him.
Well, like I know, okay, you ran a TV station.
No, I ran a news department.
A news department, okay, at a TV station. If one of your employees did something despicable like that, you would handle it quietly off air. And you wouldn't be putting out all these big defense statements for your employee, knowing that your employee said something that was bad.
You mean after I fired him?
Yes. But I think that you're going to see a lot of your top Republicans. It's easier for them, instead of coming out and saying, that was terrible, I'm ashamed, they're not going to say anything openly because he is their boss. You know what I'm saying?
The difference is I would be private practice. I mean, private enterprise. It's not
Right.
anything to do with the government. Does nothing to do with elections. I don't have to please the people at the polls.
Right.
Okay. I just have to take care of the problem. And once I take care of the problem is done, one and done and gone.
But you're not going to sit there and go over and over and
No,
make all these statements
don't have
and
to.
talk about it. Right.
The whole thing that I would be doing is be very simple. I fired him. He's gone.
Right.
He's no longer with us.
Well, you're going to find somebody that's on the other side that's wanting to take this opportunity now to get Trump's side, his people, to go against him. It's just like, the man said it, just let's move on. He shouldn't have said it. I found it appalling.
And he hasn't done anything to say, I'm sorry.
Well, you know what? Last night was a great opportunity to clear the air on that.
And what did he do?
He yelled. Did anybody else out there feel like while you were watching his speech last night that he was yelling at us? I felt like I was being yelled at the whole time. I'm like, what is up with Trump tonight?
Because he's irritated with himself.
I don't know.
People who are irritated with themselves yell a lot.
I mean,
check it out. And he called Kelly, ask her if that's not true among people who are irritated with themselves. So they yell. And, yeah, they do.
I will say I'm glad he stuck to the teleprompter and didn't go off script, because we know what happens when he goes off script.
Okay.
But he was just extremely
coming out of
forceful.
that last night. Our armed forces, every man and woman out there in the service, will be getting thank you checks soon as America prepares to celebrate its 250th anniversary. Those checks will be for $1,776, chosen because that's generally considered to be the year of our birth. Trump made a lot of noise yesterday, loud noise, as you pointed out, talking about how the prices of goods have come down and will continue coming down. Really? He noted gas prices. I'll give him that. They've come down. Automobile costs? I don't know. Even talked about grocery prices declining. Cited turkey and egg prices coming down. Turkey prices, he said, this year were lower. Egg prices have dropped. Yeah, they have, but look, they have skyrocketed. They're not even as low as they used to be, but they skyrocketed, right?
Right.
Why? How come?
Because
what was the reason for that? Give me a reason, not an excuse.
The chicken flu or whatever that was.
Whatever.
Yes.
Democrats countered, claiming that Americans are having difficulties affording to even buy their homes. It waits to be seen if the actual cost to build a house drops. That will depend on the raw products like wood, electrical, and plumbing stuff. Realistically, think about it like this. Let's say you buy one of these houses built with material that is higher than it should be. You buy this house for, I'm going to pick a low number, $100,000. You buy it because it costs the builder more money to build it because of the price of the products, right?
Right.
So if you buy this house, okay, and in 3 to 5 years, you're going to refinance it because you got an interest loan with what you found out later you could get a lower interest on. But suppose you want to sell this house. Suppose you're moving, or you want to move up in the world and get a bigger house. The price that you paid for that house is still not going to be lower because the product is there. They will be building new houses in 3 to 5 years with lower priced products. The lumber won't be as expensive, according to Trump. The electrical plumbing supplies won't be as expensive, according to Trump. You can build the same house that you're living in today that costs you $100,000 for, say, $90,000 in 5 years. So who's going to buy your house, a used house, when they can get a new house built cheaper then they can buy your used house. That's when the rub is going to come in. You're going to have to take a loss to get out from under that house and move on.
Okay, if you're going to use that, how come all this new building that we've seen over the years in Alonzo County has taken place?
It has done the same problem has occurred there. A lot of people are buying new things because the price of building them was cheaper. I'm not talking about this past year because things have gone up. But up until recently, the cost of building products was cheaper than they now are.
Right. Well,
and people build a lot of houses at those prices. And people who had homes for sale that were built with lumber that cost them more prior to that, they had a choice of taking a loss to get out from under their home so they can move on. So they would sell it to somebody who wanted it, or to somebody who wanted it will go buy a new house at the same price or lower with a new home warranty. That is the problem.
My neighbor and I were comparing taxes and evaluations on our homes last night. And I'm looking at mine, and this is Chris calling, and it shows a huge improvement on mine at a cost of $147,000. I'm just like, where are they getting all this?
Oh, yep.
I've had the same metal roof on my house for 15 years now.
No.
And now all of a sudden my house is worth more because it's got a metal roof.
Yeah. This is Chris.
Good morning.
This is Chris. Good morning, team. How are you?
Good morning.
I'm fine. How you doing?
Doing good out, getting ready to prepare to go do some business for Reach Across America as we wrap up the year. Our national and regional headquarters have shut down for the year, and they should. They need a couple of weeks vacation to get prepared for next year. But of course, our group, Reach on Our Fallen Veterans, which live and local, Real Talk is a big part.
Right.
We don't stop, and we've got the time between now and December 31st for people that buy one and get one free. And
that's right.
Right now it's kind of slow. There's only one person taking advantage of it so far, but we hope people will do that because as we talked, Rayford and Lee yesterday, $17 turns into a lot less than that when you're getting two wreaths.
$8.50 each. $8.50 each, and you buy two.
Mm-hmm.
There's my friend with the quick math. Thank you, Rayford.
Now, I got a suggestion not for you, but for all of the folks out there. If you are like me, and we had the discussion, Robbie and I've had it for the last few days, are having problems deciding what to give somebody who either has everything they need or wants something that's way too expensive. Let's think about that.
I don't get it.
Why don't you give them a wreath in their name?
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. And then give them a little card to say, guess what I bought you?
And actually, Rayford,
ain't that a good idea?
When the orders are put in, we actually have cards that are called gift cards that are gifted.
Do you now?
For example,
Well, I don't even have to buy a card then. It comes with my $17 that I can get two wreaths.
It comes from you and Robbie.
I get two $17 wreaths for $8.50, including card. Golly, I'm smart.
And, I understand, as we get ready to celebrate the birth of our Lord, we also have to keep in mind through the many over 2,000 years of war and hate that all comes back to the birth of our Lord, and in that these our veterans are now, if you're depending on your faith belief, these veterans are up in heaven now, and they're resting in peace.
Yep.
But the physical part of a human being, we let them go from us physically. Spiritually, they're still with us, but there's also that remembrance of them here on earth that'll always be here.
Sure.
Unless there's a real bad something happens.
A gathering spot to show up. Yep. Pay your respects from time to time.
Yeah, and on January 17th, we'll be taking the wreaths up from the cemeteries and a couple of suggestions I'd like to throw out real fast. And I'm sorry I'm not there today, but I've got to get these things done for the cemeteries and for this campaign for next year. Is if you have goats, I know Tim has donkeys. If you have goats,
where we go?
Goat,
do exes
goat
count?
owners have been asking us for them.
Oh,
They
the
have been asking
wreaths.
us for the wreaths because the goats will eat around. They'll eat the wreath, and they will the ribbon or the metal. They'll eat around it. Then you just dispose of that. But they'll make great barriers for our beaches.
Yeah, they do. If there's anyone collecting, they would be great there for the beaches, and Christmas trees and wreaths like that would be ideal. Wreaths would be wonderful, easy to transport, easy. Find out where the dumping grounds are. You can generally call someone in the county. Will let you know if they're doing one this year, or whatever county. But here, for folks who don't understand what that does. A lot of places have what they call sand fences. We used to have them here in North Carolina along the sand dunes, or where the dunes were. The wind blows the sand. We all know it. You've been down there, and and when the wind blows hard, the wind blows really hard, and the sand will cut you if you're not careful. But the idea is you build little humps in the area, and the sand that is blowing catches on those mountains of wreaths or Christmas trees. That's what occurs, and that's why they like them. They decompose naturally. They're not an environmental hazard. Duh. It's not like building, wooden fences or metal fences or anything else on the beaches. This is good. That's would be the important reason for doing it.
And great point. It's environmentally safe.
Mm-hmm.
And just a couple of things, if I can. I know you got to get onto the weather forecast. I want to let people know a little bit about Live and Local Real Talk. We get on there for 2 hours in the morning. But the team that does the show throughout the day are discussing things for the next day's program, and then of course overnight things happen, and we get in early, we talk about it and things like that. So we're talking about the president's speech last night. No. He was hyped up. Did
you feel like he was yelling?
I did. I really did. I thought maybe it was just the network, but as I checked all the other networks, it still came out as he was yelling. But he might have been hyped up because about 45 minutes earlier, he was talking to Rory McIlroy, because there was a special golf challenge at the Trump National in Jupiter, Florida. Right. And everybody knows how big the president, other than playing me in that round of golf. I still don't understand why he's afraid to play me. But in any case, yeah. I was listening to the opening of the program this morning, and if I can share just real quickly what bothers me, besides what he said about Rob Reiner, that the differences between him and Rob Reiner, it was uncalled for. He's not going to apologize, but people should understand it was uncalled for. Mm-hmm. Period. It's just uncalled for. But is when after the speech was done, how quickly the White House correspondents were saying, it was filled with very many falsehoods.
Yep.
Now, I don't know that they're any smarter than the three of us or any of our listeners. How do they take a 20-minute speech and know already how many of those are falsehoods?
Oh, yeah, I was sitting there thinking, I said, boy, those fact checkers can't even keep up right now.
Well, first of all, they are provided, the major networks are provided a written copy of the speech in advance.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And some of them, they were falsehoods. Depending how far you dwell into it. If you're talking decibel points about the inflation and things. But yesterday here in Jacksonville, Lee, correct me if I'm wrong, was gas somewhere $2.29, $2.39?
Yesterday I passed on right here on 17. It was $2.39 a gallon, and I was like,
"Whoa!" $2.35 at Sam's the other day.
Well, it wasn't when I went by there. Was
No,
that
that's Jacksonville, North Carolina. Out in California,
missing?
who knows what it is out in California, quite
Who
frankly.
cares?
Who cares?
That's a them problem, not a me problem.
Yeah,
Personally speaking.
Egg prices are down. Not everything is down. Not everything is up. I think you have to take everything with what the president said with a grain of salt. I think he kind of sometimes he reads what's on the prompter and then he ad libs just a little bit because it gets lost or something. I don't know. But I think, Rayford, you asked, are we better off right now than we were a year ago?
Yep.
I think so overall.
Well, I am.
I do too.
I feel more comfortable.
And I know that
things.
I know that prices aren't going to come down overnight. It takes a while, but I'm just ready to see them come down. I think that some of these providers that we have, these stores, they're just like making such a great profit off of everything now. We're going to keep prices like they are.
Well, they prices don't come down rapid, but let me tell you what.
It takes time.
If there is on that little national hurricane center map that I always check during the hurricane season, if there's a hurricane headed for the Gulf of Mexico, the price of gasoline will go up. In anticipation of oil wells shutting down and refineries shutting down. That's how fast the oil or the gasoline prices will go up. And we're talking about overnight. First night, 5 cents. Second night, another 5 cents.
Well, I just checked Sam's right now. It's $2.73.
Okay.
How does it fluctuate so much day to day?
Know. There's something.
You've
And
always
there's the
asked that.
question.
Yes.
And Rayford, you bring up a good point about the hurricane. They're anticipating it. Then when it doesn't happen, they don't lower them as fast as they raise them.
Of course not.
No, they're gonna make as much money as they can, and we're at their mercy because, for the most part, you do have to sometimes get from point A to point B. So, it is one thing I loved was the fact that the military are getting $1,776. I think that was great. I think that's it was a wonderful gesture. How the money came about, we don't know.
With all the savings that we're supposedly getting, we're kicking out a lot of people. How many hundreds of thousands are supposedly have been turned out, sent back to wherever they came from, their point of entry, point of exit,
right?
That we don't have to furnish food stamps for. We don't have to do this for them. We don't have to do that. We don't have to furnish their medical or their educational needs. We don't have to take care of that, right? So there should be a tremendous savings right there. None of us should have to pay taxes this year.
Well, let's wait it because he's talking about we're all going to see more money come tax time back in our pockets. We'll see. I just think what he did last night was a bunch of here's what I've done. Here's what Biden did. Some were true, some were false. But at the end of the night, I think it was just him saying things are starting to look better. And that's let's make the Americans feel better around Christmas time.
You did either one of you notice the little that he had to stop for a moment for the teleprompter?
Yes.
Do you know why it had to stop? It had to be cleaned. There was still some leftover ice cream on it. Okay, we better go.
Look, y'all have a good day. Let's get to some Reach Across America.
Be careful out there.
Yeah, be safe.
All right, take care.
Taking a look at an area where I once spent a lot of time and loved dearly, the Blue Water. Today, gale warning is in effect from this evening through Friday morning. Offshore, out to 20 nautical miles today, you'll expect easterly winds 5 to 10 knots. Nice. Becoming southeasterly 15 to 20 with gusts to 25 later in the afternoon. Not quite so nice. Seas 2 to 4 feet, building to 4 to 6 in the afternoon. Near shore seas will be 2 to 4 feet. Sounds and rivers a light chop, increasing to choppy in the afternoon. Tomorrow, southwesterly winds 20 to 25 knots, becoming westerly in the afternoon. Gusts up to 30 knots. Seas 8 to 11 feet, 5 to 8 near shore. Sounds and rivers rough. Kelly rough. Northeasterly winds on Saturday, 10 to 15 knots, becoming easterly, about 5 knots in the afternoon. Seas 3 to 5 feet. Sounds and rivers of moderate chop, becoming flat in the afternoon.
I'm not.
I didn't say a word.
Today, cloudy with a high near 69. A slight chance of showers after 3 p.m. today. Calm wind becoming southeast, 5 to 9 miles per hour in the morning. Winds could gust as high as 16. Tonight, showers and a possible thunderstorm with a low around 57. Friday, a chance of showers early in the morning, mostly cloudy through mid-morning, then clearing with a high near 68. Saturday, sunny with a high near 56.
Did Chris Miller call yesterday?
He's calling today right at 8 o'clock.
He's supposed to have called yesterday. Yesterday was Thursday, right?
No, today is Thursday. What are you trying to do? Steve, help me. Good Lord.
Steve. Hey.
Good morning.
How are you?
Doing pretty good. How about y'all?
I was
Doing good.
suffering from a heat wave.
Steve, I fell asleep before I could finish texting last night. I
kind of did too.
I was so tired.
So y'all went to sleep together at the same time last night?
No, we were texting back and forth during the speech.
Oh.
Yeah.
We were both around.
You were both bored.
I was like, he's
I tried to
yelling.
get her. I tried to get her to play a drinking game with me that would drink every time Trump said the name Biden,
Oh,
and we
God.
both agreed that we would not get very far if we did.
Yeah, you would not be on the highway.
Yeah. There was. It was surprising how much he talked about the former president a year into his term. So, but
That's
It was
like
what it
Obama was
was.
talking about Bush for the entire first 4 years.
Okay. I mean, I ain't trying to defend him either.
Oh, I'm not going to defend any of them. I'm just pointing it out. And he kind of broke the mold. 'Cause most presidents, Bill Clinton didn't talk about his predecessor. His predecessors didn't talk about Ronald Reagan. I mean, generally when you're gone, you're gone, and you just move on.
Yeah. I wanted to say I believe the whole Rob Reiner thing is going to blow over.
Oh, yeah.
People are going to probably people are not going to necessarily forget about it, but they're going to stop caring about it because honestly, this is not the first example of bad character, and it won't be the last example of bad character. That's my opinion, but I think I'm pretty safe in making that claim.
I think I'm going to be pretty safe and say
there'll be something else in the news next week.
Given my experience, I'm going to give you some thought processes here. The media is not going to let it go because a big chunk of the media hates Donald Trump. You know that, right? They have from day one. They always will. And they are not going to stop. And it's not going to be going after him. It's going to be going after every other Republican who's running for office. They're going to ask them, what do you think about it? What would you have done? That's the way the media will work. Don't blame them. That's the way I do it too. To be honest with you.
Well, I was going to say, the media has always been wolves at the door. And I mean, like the left media will not, don't necessarily attack the left. They attack the right. It's the opposing side that will always be the wolves at the door. When it's a Democrat in there, then your right wing media is going to be the ones that are, the wolves.
Today's media is generally the case.
Been that way. It's always been that way. Left wing media goes after the right wing media goes after the left wing.
Mm-hmm.
Once in a while they will call their own balls and strikes, but it's rare.
Yep.
Yeah, but like I say, next, there'll be another news story. He'll say something else that blows up the news cycle. I'm pretty sure of that. He's got 3 years ahead of him, so the odds that he'll say something else that people will find beneath the presidency is pretty high.
I need some money. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to get a big old pool started and put like a 6-month calendar up there and sell days when the next one is going to occur. And when that one occurs, whoever wins at that time, they collect all the money in the pot and then you start over and move forward. What do you think? I could make some money like that.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I watched it last night and I don't know if I was disappointed, but I was surprised, I guess, that he didn't really talk about what's going on in Venezuela. It was more of a I'm the greatest, type speech. I don't know. It puzzled me why he even did it. What was it about? Other than self-hype.
It didn't have the substance that it should have had if he was trying to show me substance, to be honest with you. I didn't see it. I just read it this morning.
I got you. It seemed to me like he was just trying to hype himself. Like I'm the greatest president of all time type speech. But, I don't expect him to get up there and, criticize his own self. That's not him either.
No, that's never going to happen.
Yeah. Self-reflection is a good learning tool. But,
his mirror is broken.
Don't do that. Yeah. On a different note, I heard you talking yesterday about people using Xmas instead of Christmas.
Yeah, that's just a me thing. And my first grade teacher.
I've been on the same page with you on that.
Oh, okay.
Until yesterday.
Uh-oh.
I happened to come across some information and looked into it a little bit. And do you know that using Xmas, it goes back in religious into Christianity?
Yeah, I
over
remember.
1,000 years.
I read that too.
Yeah, it's been in Christianity for over 1,000 years. It ain't the letter X as we know it. It's not the American English. It's the Greek letter, and it means chi, which is actually the first letter of Christo, which is, and I was like, how did they ever get me to believe that somebody used that as cancel, to cancel Christmas? But that was something modern, that people who didn't like Christmas started. And it's one of them things where it's surprising to me how what we believe can be manipulated by the media.
Yeah, I never heard. Well, I could have, but I didn't pay attention to it because they're, the wackos out there with the tinfoil hats I don't listen to. But my first grade teacher's the one who told us or brought it up, and she was not one of those who ever thought about it meant canceling Christmas. All she said was it changed the place of the word Christ. Mm-hmm. And she said she was not going to use it. She did not mandate that we not use it. That was the funny part. But those were teachers in the old days, right? A long time ago.
Yeah.
As I was reading that, I found something else interesting that in the 1700s in Boston, it was illegal to celebrate Christmas.
Yeah.
Was it Christmas was banned in Boston?
It was banned in Boston in 1700 by the Protestants. They were Christians, but they thought that the Christmas celebration was a heresy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They didn't like the fireworks and the gifts and stuff. Probably didn't like the mistletoe either.
Yeah, well, actually, December 21st or 25th was a pagan holiday. And in the, I think it was the 1400s or maybe 1500s when Emperor Constantine converted Rome to Christianity. Mm-hmm. They just slapped the Jesus sticker on the winter solstice, which was December 25th. They were already celebrating and exchanging gifts.
Gotcha.
The pagans were before Christianity came along.
All right.
So, a lot of interesting facts out there, man.
Let's see. What is today? Today's the 18th.
Yeah.
Okay. Today's the 18th. We got a couple more days, and then we can start celebrating. The days will be getting longer.
Yeah.
That's just what I need, some more hours.
Yeah.
I don't have enough in the day right now.
To do what?
To do all the things that I need. Yesterday, I was on the road all day. And so this morning when I got up to feed the dogs, their dishes were still in the dishwasher, and I had not even run it. So,
you have a faucet. You have a faucet and a scrub.
Well,
brush?
I took them out and I washed them by hand because they're definitely not going to eat out of dirty dishes. But I just
you do you do that every day? You run your dishwasher every day for the dog dishes?
No, I'll run it if I have other dishes, but I generally just. Anyway, Rayford, it was just a day yesterday. I could have used a couple more hours of daylight. Let's just say it was just crazy.
Okay.
I refuse to use the dishwasher. I don't like them. I don't.
I rebelled against them for the longest time because I never found one I didn't have to wash the dishes when it came out until the one that we have now. And the one we have now will clean. It will clean the ugly off of some people I know.
I need that one.
I also don't like to leave dirty dishes sitting around all day till the dishwasher gets full.
See, I pretty clean mine. Give me a break. Mine's washed. You could eat off mine before I put them in the dishwasher.
And that's kind of what got me away from them is that you had to rinse it to start with. And I mean, you're only like a half a second from actually washing that dish and being able to put it away.
Here is my only logic here. Okay. Especially when if we got a bunch of people where I'm going to have a dishwasher load of stuff to do, because there's only two of us. Otherwise, God, we don't have to run the dishwasher every day or every 3 days. Once a week sometimes is all it takes, and it just depends. But here's my logic. Even though I pre-wash them, if you want to call it that, stick them in there, that hot water that comes out of that spigot, that faucet in there that washes the dishes and then rinses those dishes, that is hotter than anything I can stand without wetsuit gloves on. You know what I mean? Well, if I'm going to wash dishes for me to eat out of, it's going to be washed with the hottest water I can get. Boiling would be good. I can't stand that.
My water temperature's not hot enough for
me. The dishwasher takes care of it, though.
Right. They put in my new water heater. They kept it right at where it's, what was it, 120. It's not 120 to me, but I need to up it a little bit.
Well, you can. It's easy.
Yeah, I know.
I'm
just not messing with it.
Okay. All right, Steve. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Steve.
You're welcome, guys. Y'all have a blessed day.
What's your favorite Christmas song?
Don't tell me Feliz Navidad.
You won't now.
Oh Holy Night probably is one of my favorites.
Mine too.
That's a good one.
That is mine.
Yeah.
I have to agree with that. Go listen to Dan Vasquez sing it. Holy moly.
I got it. Another one that I know is my favorite, but I guess I hear it more than anything else is Merry Christmas from the Family by Robert Earl King.
Yeah,
have y'all ever heard that one?
I have. It's been around for a while, but it's not one of those top 10 songs they play.
I'm not familiar with that one.
It's not, but I don't know why, but that's just one. I don't know if John Boy and Billy maybe, kind of a tradition for me, but anyway, that's another one.
Now, I mentioned earlier in the show about when Christmas ends, and I'd say it's at noon on Christmas Day because all the radio stations used to, I assume they still do, who play Christmas music kind of like round the clock, were some of them beginning the day after Thanksgiving, others beginning like the 1st of December, and some beginning like the 10th of December, whatever their start date was, they would play them. That's all they played. A lot of stations. And then on Christmas, it was rock around the clock. Here we go again. Forget the Christmas songs at noon. All the Christmas music disappeared. Do you remember those?
Nope.
I do remember it being that way. I don't know if it's still that way.
I don't know either.
Sure.
I'm going to check it out.
Yeah, I know you will.
Christmas Day.
Hote. Thank you, sir.
Y'all have a good one.
You too. Bye.
Well, I have a question for you, Rayford.
7.
Why does every radio station and every TV station, their call letters all start with W?
They don't. Some start with K.
Well, most of them that we know of start with W. Why?
Originally and back in the day. Ham radio calls did the same thing.
Right.
Okay. But west of the Mississippi, they started them with K's. Mississippi and this here way started with W's. A prominent radio station, a legacy radio station, KDKA in Pennsylvania, was one of the originals, and they started with K, KDKA. Most of the other stations, I don't know of any stations east of the Mississippi that start with K, radio or TV. Ham calls are starting with W's and K's and N's and U's and whatever, A's and whatever else they are now. But they used to, all ham stations started out with, after they finally got some rules and regulations, they were licensed as either W's or K's. Right. And that could be either east or west of the Mississippi. Okay.
Yeah, now that's what it's saying, right?
What, you doubted me? You looked
No,
it up?
I
You
just looked it
Googled it
up
to
because
verify that I was telling you the truth?
I believed you, but I want to know why they picked the letter W or picked the letter K.
There got to be some international things involved, and I have no idea why they are in here, because we have international treaties dealing with communications, broadcast, and amateur radio, and other communications as well. There are all sorts of
No, but you're
international
absolutely
treaties to that
right.
effect.
The prefix K is reserved for stations west of the Mississippi.
Duh.
Yeah, okay. But
That's
I
it.
just want to know
In
why
your-
they
in
picked
your-
the letter
in
K
your
or W.
35 years on Earth, that's the first time you've even thought about that?
And I just thought about it while you and Steve were talking.
Oh, okay.
And I'm just like, oh, why?
I have a really strong suggestion and warning for some folks in these parts.
What's that?
Too late for some, for a couple of them.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of driving around, y'all, you little punks, pukes, whatever you want to call
What?
yourself,
What?
I'll call you. Instead of driving around looking for mischief to get into, I would strongly suggest you visit your YouTube channel. If you can get it on your smart TV, that do so, because you can see it big and look at it,
Mm-hmm.
or your computer. Search for, under YouTube, dump porch pirates. Dump them.
That's the ones we
Get
were
rid of them.
Yeah, yeah.
Look at the videos and the
Uh-huh.
number of those idiots who get caught on security cameras, owners with guns, big dogs that bite,
Mm-hmm.
and police. I'm surprised that folks still feel this is a good thing to be doing. I mentioned owners with guns. Do you know that there is somebody waiting at doors, waiting for you to come steal something from them? And there's somebody will have a load of rock salt in their shotgun if they're old enough to know how to do that. And they will have absolutely no problem in burning your backside with a load of rock salt. You take the pellets out and you put the rock salt in there, and when that hits, it stings, and it stings for a long, long time. You'll be lucky if you get shot with rock salt, because they could shoot you with something else.
All these videos coming out where these people are putting the colored powder into the boxes
And glitter
entice
and
them.
everything else.
and the porch pirate goes to pick up the box.
It's
and,
called baiting them.
well, that's like they showed a video of two women going up and saying, we know you can see us, but you can't stop us from stealing this package. I mean,
That's
her
when
face
say,
was right in the ring
That's
camera.
when I say, Fido,
About the time she got down
killer, you're free.
to the bottom step, the thing blew up and she turned green. And that's what gets me. They showed a lot of videos where these people where the package blew up on them and it turned their whole body, clothes, everything. They were covered with a color.
You know, there are a lot of people out there who apparently are trying to one up people like me, figuring out things to do. Old people, generally with devious
Mhm.
minds, who just sit around thinking of ways to really screw with idiots. But no. As it is in Las Vegas, everyone's got a system. They think they can beat the system. Over in Craven County, Sheriff Chip Hughes says his office, they were investigating reports of numerous Amazon packages that were dropped off on one area being snatched up by punk thieves while looking for a
Punks.
car fitting that description, one that was spotted in the area. A couple of deputies ran across the car fitting that description. They stopped the vehicle, found it loaded with what they said were the stolen packages. 18-year-old Markel Carter and an underage kid were taken into custody. Carter, considered to be an adult, ready for the big time, is charged with 12 counts of larceny and 12 counts of possession of stolen property. Too much of a baby for the big boy warrants. The underage punk will be served with juvenile petitions for the same offenses. That's the same thing as a warrant, except it's for children. Brats. Sheriff Hughes asked that anyone who bought any packages from
Dummies.
street thugs contact his
thugs.
office. Now, let me give you a warning. Strong suggestion.
Mm-hmm.
These two young punks, 18 is the older one. These two young punks have got a lot to lose. A lot to lose. Much of it their future.
Right.
if you think those two punks are not going to sing for a lighter sentence, giving your name if you bought a package from them, your address if you bought a package from them, your phone numbers, or anyone who bought the stolen stuff, you're in for a surprise. Because if they give up those names, then the sheriff comes a knocking on your door and you've got it, you're in possession of stolen property. That's going to be the easy part. You're going to be arrested.
You know, it's a shame. It's a shame that
It's
we have
best
to.
for you to get ahead of this. Call the sheriff's office and tell them everything. If you go out and say, I'm going to get rid of this stuff, I'll dump it. No, they've already got your name and your number, and they're going to have the information from these two kids. So they're going to still arrest you. Destroying or dumping those packages will only serve to show proof that you were aware that they were stolen, and judges will not take too kindly to that. If you bought something from them, it's got Amazon box, or it's a package and it's an 18-year-old punk kid trying to sell it or selling it to you at a good deal, go ahead, be stupid.
Well,
They got special sales up there to say stupid people sales.
I do want to commend the young lady from Amazon that delivered a package to my house yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
She actually, I saw her come, and of course my doorbell alarm and all that went off.
Yeah.
And I usually wait till they leave before I go running right out there. But she was doing some stuff in her truck. So I opened the door and I looked and I didn't see it anywhere. I'm like, she had actually put it on my porch, but kind of close to the bushes, so it could not be seen from the road.
Yeah.
USPS, take note of that.
Yeah.
And I really appreciated that. She had security in mind when she put that package down. And I was just like, wow, that's the way I used to do when I delivered packages. I didn't leave them right out in the open. I always tried to find a place where they wouldn't be visible from the road.
It's hard
And
to do
I
that.
would leave a note for the homeowner.
It's hard to do that here for us.
Right.
But we have had them to deliver it to the end of the house at a different place than the front door, places that they couldn't see it from
I
outside.
had one leave a package right on my sidewalk that comes up to the front of the
Oh,
house.
that's just a
right in the
lazy
middle.
guy.
And I'm like,
I know they're overworked.
seriously?
Now, our mail guy, Stephen,
Yes.
he's our mailman. We want him all the time.
Yeah.
He does all sorts of. First of all, if it's a package, he rings the doorbell.
That's what you're supposed to
Because
do.
it's a package there. He rings the doorbell because he knows, in addition to you ring doorbell going off, when they
Right.
see a picture up there, that's just one thing. But when he rings the doorbell, okay, we know somebody's at the door. And
Right.
if it's a Stephen, when it's him, he
Mhm.
rings the doorbell, there's a package there. So we'll make sure to secure it right away.
Technically, if you want to get technical,
Why?
all mail carriers are supposed to ring the doorbell and hand you the package. Now, if you've given them permission to leave it on the doorstep, if you don't answer the door, then they can leave it on the porch or the
Well, what is
doorstep.
it supposed to do if you don't answer? Just will take it with them?
Technically, they were supposed to leave you a notice and take the package back. And I know we've got to the day and the era where, like they just leave it on the front porch. But you can request that them not leave it on your front porch. They take it back to the post office and leave you a notice. You can request that.
Well, I'm doing some experimenting right now.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
What?
I'm afraid to ask.
Well, it's
What are you experimenting?
I got plenty of those boxes, and I'm saving a few,
Yes.
and I'm taping them up and restocking them.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm doing a timer inside to see how long it takes them. Once they pick it up, it'll be tripped.
Right.
How long it takes them to get about halfway away from the house, because I don't want anything hitting the house and covering the house up with debris.
Right.
Like blood and stuff like that. And then how much explosives I can put in there without causing serious bodily injury.
That's mean.
covering them with dye is great.
I love the dye thing.
The dye stuff is wonderful.
And going back to what I was saying earlier, some of the videos that you were talking about, the people that were covered with dye, the thieves, the thugs, actually had the audacity to call the police department out there to make a complaint about the customer putting dye in the box and it getting all over the thief. And I remember one of the cops is like, going, no, wait a minute, let me get this straight. You went up on their porch and trespassing.
And you stole.
You stole their package, stealing, and you want me to charge them. It's just unreal. But there's so many things that you can do to help protect what you have coming.
Yep.
First of all, schedule it for a day you're going to be home. Amazon.
You can schedule it?
Yes, you can. And Amazon also has a system now where you can actually request, instead of being delivered to your house, you can have it delivered to like the CVS pharmacy if they're one of their stops. They have designated places
Does
that
CVS
you can
charge
request.
you for that?
No. I think Walgreens right close to me is a one, but there's different areas, different stores that you can request your package be delivered there, so you can go at your convenience and pick it up there.
I'm going to request they send it to the sheriff's office.
Why?
Because somebody going to go there and steal my stuff. Good luck with that one.
There you go. But
No, I'm kidding.
There's
Sheriff,
a lot of
I'm
things that you can do to protect yourself. You shouldn't have to go through all
No,
this.
you should not.
You should not. I do have cameras on my house, and I have the doorbell camera that when somebody approaches it, it says camera recording, and people get kind of nervous about that, but it's good. If you're there for an honest reason.
Well, I'm gonna cut a tape one day, or cut an audio one day, and do something with a warning. If you're here soliciting, go away. If you're here stealing, leave the name of your next of kin.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what. I got this pretty bronze-colored no soliciting sign that it's really nice.
Nobody's stolen it yet.
No, I put it. You have to screw it into the house. I mean, it's a nice sign. It's not paper, and I put it up over my numbers that I have on my house. And only one person has actually rang the doorbell and stood there waiting. The rest of them come up and I see them look at it and they walk away. So it does help. It does help. But
here's the sign that you need. Go ahead and make it up. We shoot every third solicitor. The second one just left.
I used to have one that says, I have PMS. I have a 357. I ended up giving that to Jerry Reed.
He had PMS, didn't he?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's funny.
Anyway,
if you're gonna go out there and practice stealing, and you know what, the chances of you getting caught these days are pretty high. And because the first thing police do now, they look across the street, they look at your house, they look at the houses, and regardless of where you park, they'll track you.
Right, exactly. Like I told you a couple months ago, my neighbor across the street had some stuff stolen off their porch at exactly 3 a.m. because I caught it on video. And so I cut the video and I sent it to them. Whether or not they were able to catch the person, who did it, I don't know. But everywhere you go, there are cameras. That is our Chris Miller, our famous sports editor with the Daily News, calling in.
Well, I got a little problem.
You could do that. I can't do it. Rayford, you sound like you're spitting tobacco.
I'm not spitting tobacco. I don't chew tobacco. I don't chaw tobacco. I know people who do. It's Hey, Chris.
Hey, Chris.
Well, speaking of chewing tobacco, Rayford, don't you miss high school football?
Oh, it's been hard.
It's been difficult.
The DTs, the withdrawals.
And the reason why I make that reference.
I know why you make that reference.
High school football coaches love chewing their tobacco.
Oh, do they?
Yes.
That's not who I was thinking about, but that's okay.
Well, Chris, were you at Jacksonville High School last night for all their games?
No, I was not at Jacksonville High School last night. It just wanted to take a couple nights off and have dinner with my family.
I don't blame you. Well, I looked for you.
I'll be covering
I stopped by there last night and I asked if you were there, and I didn't see you, so I left. But I had gone there for other reasons. So.
Oh, okay. All right. Right. Yeah. The high school football coaches, they love chewing tobacco, and they've done a good job of not doing it around the kids. But high school football coaches are a bunch of good old boys. So you have to you have to let them have their little fun.
You have to do a lot of dodging, do you, when you're walking? Step lively.
I don't, that's their choice. I don't, but it was just funny listening to him trying to pop a top here a few minutes ago. I can't do it either. I can't. There you go. That was pretty good.
Okay.
And if Mr. Marks is listening, our good friend Chris Marks, who does a great job, with the various different causes and volunteering his services.
He does.
Within the community, great job. Just an honorable gentleman. But the next time he says the phrase "first annual," I'm going to take that golf club that he vows he's going to beat Donald Trump with, and I'm going to beat him upside the head with it. Mr. Marks, there is no such thing as first annual. Please use inaugural. So
it doesn't become an annual until the second go round.
With that golf club, the next time you say first annual,
it only becomes annual if it becomes the second one.
I guarantee you, Chris, if I had said it, Rayford would have caught it right away.
And Lee, every time it says it, don't I text you and say it's inaugural.
I showed it to him, but I that day, but I don't think he caught on.
Here's some bunch of things that disc jockeys, those time and temperature DJs they used to be and whatever, and it's time and temperature is what they do. That's what top 40 jocks were famous for, right? Hey, correct Eastern Standard Time is 8:02. It is 78 degrees outside. Well, two things. One, I don't care what the incorrect time is. The correct time is the only time. The incorrect time is everything else on the clock other than 8:02.
I have to write that down and remember this.
Now, and then the temperature, 78 degrees outside. Well, I don't care what your temperature is inside. Do you? Why would you even think about giving me the inside? Our temperature inside right now is 73 degrees, actually, and 42.7 outside. Duh.
Is there a book that I can study for all of this?
we all have our pet peeves. I mean, another one. For some reason it drives me crazy. People get it off from me because that's how the people on ESPN talk. But when you want to say somebody scored 3 touchdowns, you say Rayford Brown scored 3 touchdowns. You don't say Rayford Brown would score 3 touchdowns. I mean, it's not necessary. But they get it off ESPN. It's just for some reason it drives me crazy. Just say Rayford Brown scored 3 touchdowns. You don't have to. You don't have to go on and use additional words. And I guess maybe that's the writing part of me is you try to make the same point without using so many words.
Well, now let's just talk about newspaper guys and radio and TV reporters. Okay. They like as much time and as many inches per column as they can get, right? They want a lot of time for this. Right, they want a lot of stories. And if you write for a newspaper, you just want to have as many words in that article as you can because you want to have your name over a big article. People look at big articles faster than they look at little articles. But now, coming from me, since I never worked full-time for a newspaper, I was selfish because you know how we were paid? By the column inch. Did you know that?
TV?
Freelancers for newspaper.
Okay.
We were paid back in the day, we were known as stringers. You know why we were known as stringers? Yeah. We were known as stringers because at the end of each day we tied a knot in a piece of string for the length of the article that you had in column inches. You measured each side of the column. If there were 2 columns, you measured it and how long it was, and you tied a knot in the string for that day. At the end of the month, you sent that string in to billing, and they sent you a check, and they measured the string.
Yeah, I'm with you, Chris. I'm like, what?
You don't find that fascinating where the word stringer came from?
No.
Okay.
Well, no, I knew
That's
that. I mean, I
interesting.
knew that had something to do with that. But no, we would always pay our stringers, because that's how I started. Was when I started, it was like $25 per assignment or
Yeah.
$25 per shift. I mean, you worked as an independent contractor, so if I came in and for about 3-4 hours typing in bowling scores when we used to do bowling scores, or
That's different.
taking the calls from the coaches.
You were a part-time employee, completely different than a stringer.
Well, I mean, I would come in and cover high school basketball games
Sure.
and things like that too. So, but that's kind of how I got my start. That's how a lot of us got our start. But yeah,
Absolutely.
it just kind of it drives me crazy when people want to pretend like they're ESPN, and I mean, we should devote a whole show just on things that grind our gears. How about that, Rayford?
Yeah. Well,
Good Lord.
continue day 2.
Well, I have a question for you, Chris. I just read where
Yeah,
you
people
put.
who back.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
I said I
people
had
who
a,
back their
Okay, stop.
people who back their cars into the parking lot.
right.
And inconvenience other people. Yeah, that's another topic. How about that?
Well, you know, there are a couple of kinds of people that do that. One is because they find it easier to pull out in a hurry, and if you're in a crowded parking lot where the people are coming, trying to back out of a parking space
Mhm.
is sometimes a bit of a problem and a hassle, and you irritate a lot of people. And the other reason people do it is, well, cops will do it, of course, for quick getaway. But the same thing for bad guys will do it when their tags are expired or when they're wanted somewhere, because police drive through and they look at things like that. I've got out behind more than one car and walked around to look at the tag to run it because I was suspicious of the way they parked.
But I understand
Duh.
what Chris is saying. Sometimes you just like you're going through a parking lot and everyone's so slow.
Yeah.
And then you finally turn down a lane to go park, and then you've got to wait for somebody. And I don't do well at backing because I never straight. So I start backing, have to pull up, back up, pull up, back. And I know it's frustrating for people, but usually if I do that, I'm down towards the end where I'm not going to hold up traffic. But I understand what you're saying.
I got a
Chris. It
solution
could be
for
so
that.
aggravating. What?
Get a Uber.
No.
Yeah, go get an
Anyway,
Uber.
Yeah,
Chris,
exactly.
I see you just put
Yeah,
out.
what were you going to ask me?
I see that you just put out the 2025 Jacksonville area all area football team. And and I was reading where the coaches actually nominate their own players for the first, second, or third team. Now, who makes the final decision on that?
Chris.
That would be me. So I do like what I call, and I've done this for many years, an all area football team, soccer team, volleyball team. I do it for basketball, baseball, girls soccer, softball.
Right.
And so at the end of each season, I put together these all area teams, and it recognizes the area's best player for that sport, kind of based on their position. So.
Right.
The court, and you all have like a quarterback and a couple running backs and so on and so forth for the football team. So at the end of the year, I reach out to my coaches and I say, "Hey guys, who do you want to nominate for your own, team for all areas?" So the coaches will get up with me. "Hey, I want to nominate Rayford Brown for first team running back, or Lee Barrows for second team wide receiver or quarterback or whatever." So I do that, and then I kind of put together, see what their stats are, and then make the decision. So a lot of people like like these things. I mean, they're very popular, and a lot of people don't like them because they feel like you're always going to leave somebody out just because.
Sure, you are.
Right,
kids,
right.
but-
No, it looks.
But
I got an idea.
People really enjoy them. It makes for a lot of good conversation.
For some game somewhere at some time, what will be interesting is to have a group of sports writers, your partners in crime at other newspapers in the region, perhaps, and all of you go to the same game, but you don't talk to each other, and you each write a story, and that story is published without any of you seeing what the other guy wrote, and put it in the same publication, and see how the stories turn out. See who thinks what is important. Wouldn't that be
Well,
funny?
yeah. Well, and
I
a
would
lot
like
of it,
that.
a lot of it will depend on kind of if I'm covering Jacksonville, then I'm going to do kind of Jacksonville's perspective. If,
Sure you are.
if they're playing a non-local team, if the team that covers the newspaper that covers Union Pines, for example, they're going to write it from Union Pines' perspective.
Of course they are.
You still report the facts, and you still report who scored and what the keys of the game were and everything. But if Jacksonville loses, I'm going to quote the Jacksonville people, and the Union Pines people are going to quote the Union Pines coaches and players. So a lot of it's just kind of about perspective.
And you put your spin on it.
Well, you put your writing style, but you try to, like I said before, Rafer, you try to capture the emotion.
I know.
Like for example, when Jacksonville football lost a couple weeks ago, it was a tough loss, but you talk to the you talk to the coach and kind of get his, hey, what'd you tell the kids at the end of the ball game? What'd you talk about what made this team so special. You try to talk, you hate to do it. Like I said before, because you are dealing with high school young ladies or young men. But that's where you earn that trust with the players and the coaches, being able to talk to them after a tough loss. You try to talk to maybe a senior or two that could handle it and say, hey man, I know tough loss. What did your coach tell you? And what made the season so special? So you kind of just have a lot of times you'll get a lot of your best quotes after losses because that's when the emotions are raw. I mean, everybody is all happy and rah when they win, but that's when you get the best that's when you get the best emotion is after tough loss.
I'm going to tell you the difference between a sports writer like you and one of those hard news reporters that's going to be covering stuff. The hard news reporter, when you're going to go up and you're going to talk to the coaches, you're going to talk to the students. I'm sorry, yada 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 yada. You've had a great season. You've done this and you've done that. What were the highlights of your year? Those are the kinds of questions you might be asking right at the end of the season. Now, a hard news, obnoxious dingbat of a reporter will walk up to the same students. He's been assigned to cover that sporting event, but he's a hard news crime type story writer. Hey, how does it feel? You'll never be able to play another high school game. How does that make? Am I right or am I wrong?
I hate that. And you have people, hey, well, how do you feel? I mean, how do you think I feel? We just lost, last high school game I ever play, or you don't, you never. I mean, and people do that, and that's another thing that just, that just drives me crazy. You have to be, you have to be a human being. You have to be respectful and respect the situation. And again, like I said before, a lot of these high school kids. I mean, high school football or high school sports is kind of all they're going to have.
Yep. Now, I passed up a photograph of the last game. I passed up a photograph of the last game that would have really got a lot of attention, probably a lot of comments, and probably a little bit of hate and discontent coming my way. As I was walking out the gate, Lee was in front of me.
Oh, Lord.
There was a football player, big, tall, burly football player, with his dad, I presume, and he was leaning on his dad's shoulder from the front. He was hugging him, and he was crying.
I know.
Now, what kind of a news photo would that have made? A front page one. But for high school football, oh no! In your hometown, I like my legs where they are.
I wanted to go over and hug that young man. He had
I might have taken a picture of.
Put so much heart into that, and he was just very upset.
He was sobbing, and
his dad had his arms around him.
Did.
It was just, it really affected me.
So, you know where my camera stayed? Right down where it should, strapped around my neck, hanging low.
Never.
And like I said before, you just got to use common sense. Now, if this is the end of a Super Bowl, and these players are getting paid, I mean, that's part of the reason why they're getting
different story.
$40 million. That is a little bit of a different story, and I've said that before. But these are high school kids or high school coaches who are not getting paid much. And I'm going to give a high school coach when I interview them. And there's been times where a high school coach will say something bad, and maybe he'll read it and say, "Hey, Coach, are you sure you want to say this?"
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, "Yeah, Chris, you're right. Let me think about what I want to say." Because I'm not trying to. He or she is a teacher first. I'm not trying to get them in trouble. Now,
Correct.
Now there have been times where a coach, like, "No, Chris, I want you to say this. I'm trying to make a point." "Okay, Coach, I gave you an opportunity."
It's all on you now, bud. As a you
and
think.
you put that and you record that conversation just so there's not a he said, she said.
That's right. All right.
So
all right, Chris.
just little tricks of the trade.
Yeah, there's lots of things. So we still got to get you in here so we can sit down and have a round table discussion. You and Chris, the other Chris,
I
and
sent
then
the email to Steve.
and Steve Goodson, and we'll get everybody in here one morning just to sit down and shoot the breeze.
Yeah, we can. We'll have our favorite caller call in, and we can have some debates and maybe some spaghetti afterwards.
Yeah, well, we need to legalize brutal. Well, it is legal. It's legalized brutality. That's what it is.
Just
right?
real quick, Chris, isn't there during the Christmas holiday? Is there a basketball tournament? Have we already had that, or is that later?
Yeah, it's the Onslow County Classic. It's the annual Onslow County Christmas basketball tournament. All 8 Onslow County public schools will get together a few days after Christmas for 3 days and have a tournament and just a fun. It brings a lot of people together. It's a fun event and
Right.
So yeah, I think it's the. They'll start that Saturday, and then they'll take
Christmas
Sunday off,
break,
and then they'll do Monday, Tuesday.
There you
Gotcha. Okay.
go. All right, son.
All right,
See
we
you guys.
look
You got something to do. All right, Chris. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris.
Hey, we'll talk to you guys next week.
You got it.
All right.
Bye.
And for those interested, you can always follow Chris Miller on X at Chris Miller at JDN Sports. So always a good one. And that's Chris, the other Chris calling now.
I don't know which other
Chris-
Chris you're talking about. We got a lot of other
Marks.
Chris's. Mr. Marks, Sir
Mr.
Marks.
Marks, I
How's
had
that?
something.
We'll call him Sir Marks.
Sir
I am
Marks.
good. I just want to do the official
Thank you
There you
very
go.
much.
for Chris. I did want to let Chris know. Thanks to him, I have changed it to the inaugural event. Thank you, Chris. And I wanted to let Chris know that I also had my inaugural awards for this area because it's the first one I've ever done. So it's the inaugural one, Chris, that I've done. So I want to let Chris know that he won the following awards in the inaugural Chris Marks Local Sports Awards. Top Local Sports Coverage Editor, Chris Miller.
Okay.
Most recognized at Jacksonville high school football games as local reporter, Chris Miller. And Best Dress Sports Editor at football games,
Oh,
Chris
no.
Miller.
We're going there.
Clean sweep.
We're going there. He's going to come back
How
with
about the most
skirt.
gracious sports editor?
Look,
Most gracious would be Chris Miller. And the most helpful
Oh, yeah.
for local sports and getting sports scores to Jacksonville Cardinal fans, Live and Local Real Talk.
Huh?
Keeping the fans in the stadium informed.
Oh,
Other local high school scores
gotcha.
is Live and Local Real Talk. Thank you, folks.
well, I get that from Chris Miller. So there you go.
I don't want to give.
passes it
I don't
along.
want to give him. Look, I don't want to give him all the awards. Okay. But no, Chris is a great guy. I love the guy. We've been friends for a long, long time, and I look forward to having him in the studio. But when he decided he wanted to hit me over the head with a golf club, I figured it's time to correct that inaugural part. So,
Okie dokie. That's good. I will say it's the what we hope to be the first annual. It was the what we hope to be the first annual event. See, that way you can cover it.
Well, thank you, Rayford. Thanks for covering me.
What we hope will become it's the first of what we hope will become an annual event. Duh.
Well,
I used to say
started
that.
the second one.
Yeah.
Did anybody notice I'm wearing a new shirt today? What does it say on my sleeve?
Untoppable.
Unstoppable. And what
Unstoppable.
It's a Jacksonville High School shirt. Unstoppable. And we got matching sweatpants to go with it.
Okay, and
See, I
today's
had a
most
hard time.
fashionable dress.
Unstoppable.
Look
And special
real
thanks.
Well, what about my shirt?
Oh, yeah. National
Rayford,
Sarcasm
what does yours
Society.
say? National Geographic?
No.
Sarcasm Society.
National Sarcasm Society.
Okay.
Well, I just want to say thank you to the Pattersons, that Keith and his wife
Yeah.
that run the boost that are with the Booster Club at Jacksonville High School.
Yep.
Oh, wonderful people. They're the ones that got me the cowbell. But he did text me yesterday. He said, we got a sale going on. And I was right over there. So anyway.
That's a nice shirt.
Yeah, this one was not on sale, but I did get a few items that were on sale. But yeah, I love my new shirt. Unstoppable.
Well, I'm going to let y'all go take some more
Okay.
and do the weather and maybe
Yeah.
take some calls. And
Thank you, Chris.
Love you,
Thanks,
brother.
Chris.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care.
Let's look out to the blue water.
Blue water.
But not today. Gale warning's in effect. It goes into effect this evening, and it will last through tomorrow morning. Offshore out to 20 nautical miles today. Easterly winds this morning 5 to 10 knots, becoming southeasterly 15 to 20, with gusts to 25 this afternoon. If you're going, do it now and come back soon. Seas 2 to 4 feet, building to 4 to 6 in the afternoon. Don't go so far that when it starts to chop up a little bit, that you can't put that thing in high gear and come home. The choppier it gets, the slower you got to run, and the longer it takes you to get here, and that
Right.
ride can be miserable. Near shore, seas 2 to 4 today. Sounds and rivers, a light chop, increasing to choppy in the afternoon. Tomorrow, southwesterly winds kicking off the morning, 20 to 25
Ooh.
knots, with becoming westerly in the afternoon. Gusts will be up to 30 knots. Now the seas, yeah, buddy, 8 to 11 feet. If you're going to be near shore, if you think you can get across the inlet, across the bar into the ocean, they're only going to be 5 to 8 feet. Don't. Sounds and rivers, rough. Northeasterly winds Saturday, 10 to 15 knots, becoming easterly around 5 knots in the afternoon. Make your plans, leave the docks about noon, and take your time to get to the ocean. Seas will be 3 to 5 to begin with. Sounds and rivers, a moderate chop, becoming flat in the afternoon.
Today, cloudy with a high near 69. A slight chance of showers after 3 p.m. today. Calm wind becoming southeast 5 to 9 miles per hour this morning with winds gusting as high as 16. I'm reading ahead. Tonight, showers and a possible thunderstorm, low around 57. Friday, a chance of showers in the morning, mostly cloudy with a high near 68. Saturday, sunny, high near 56. Sunday, sunny with a high near 64. Weather's looking up for the weekend.
Weather looking a little bit more better.
Yeah, more better, much more better.
Maybe I get that concrete poured into the.
To do it.
I can't do it when it's wet or cold, and it'll just be a wobbly pole. Yeah. Our ham radio group this morning kind of scattered a little bit. Randy out there southwest, he just pulling his golf cart back into the garage this morning. 39 degrees at the time, 99% humidity. He had no wind, and nobody had any rain that was measurable. Tomorrow, that might not be the case. Joe, that's right. Joe's gone for a few days, isn't he? Dale and his wife Carol out there at River Bend, 39 degrees, 99% humidity. It was also calm there. Ward out at Cedar Point, 45 blistering degrees, 98% humidity. He had very light winds, and they were variable. Ken in Onslow Bay off of Rocky Run Road, 42 degrees and 93% humidity. And Lee, as in Lady Blue.
Just Lee?
Yeah, you, Lee.
Me, Lee.
Lee. Over there in the woodlands of Northwoods Park, Northwoods area. She had 41 degrees, 96% humidity, and no wind. Everything was calm. Here in Country Club Acres at the studio, it was 37 degrees, 99% humidity. Winds were very light from the west-southwest at the time. The temperature, now this was at 5:30 this morning. I said 37 degrees, right?
Right.
Look at the temperature now. It has climbed drastically.
6 degrees.
4, 5, 6, 7 degrees, 40 degrees now. Still humidity is way up there, 99%. We have no wind blowing now, but it's been sort of out of the east, southeast for a bit. But so we'll wait and see. It's going to be up and down, and we're going to have some little challenges here, especially in the marine environment later today and tomorrow. So be careful. Okay.
Well, the Brown University.
Yeah.
FBI is putting out now pictures of someone else that they would like to talk to.
Yeah, that's the one we talked about yesterday too.
What they're saying about this one now is that there was indications that he may have seen the shooter and twice turned around and was trying to get away from the shooter. Yeah,
really?
They went into more detail on it this morning. So I don't know. It's just going to be interesting, but I guarantee you they're going to find this guy. They're going to find whoever the shooter was before the weekend's over.
The school's president, on board since 2012, is feeling a little bit of heat these days.
Yes,
2
he
students
is.
shot dead, 9 others are wounded. They were all taking exams last Saturday afternoon at a press conference. She was asking what was going on, why the students were there on a Saturday afternoon. She did not know.
Right.
What? Where have you been, little girl? Security obviously missing, allowing a man armed with a handgun and possibly extended magazines for that gun that would have increased the size and visibility of the pistol. And no alarm, not once, not even one time after the first round of shots were fired. They never did set off the alarms. Who was asleep at the wheel? Everybody. The gunman nonchalantly walks off the campus and disappears. Hasn't been seen since.
It's crazy.
Kept his gun. May have left a couple of loaded magazines behind. That was a report that was broadcast, but I still haven't seen it confirmed. One person was questioned first of the week, released after investigators could not tie him into the attacks. The president, Christina Paxson, told reporters she thought everyone did what was proper when shots were fired. She dodged questions about a lack of cameras inside the school, noting it's an older building.
Right.
Reporters went to an older building on campus where she lives and found lots of cameras. Place where she lived had lots of cameras. The school, where hundreds and hundreds of students gather, had no cameras. President Paxson was recently given a raise with her salary, which is now putting her in the $3 million plus range.
Good Lord.
In dodging direct questions, Paxson blasted what she called horrific gun violence. A standard reaction these days: blame the car, blame the gun, not the driver or the shooter. I'm pretty sure her days are numbered. Time for her to retire and move on. Speaking of moving on, Don Bongino.
Yes,
I told you all about it Monday or Sunday. Well, I put it out Sunday to a friend of mine, Secret Service retired.
Yeah.
The former Secret Service officer, the guy that became an expert on just about everything after he retired from the service, got himself a position as an analyst or whatever it was on Fox News, became familiar with the politically famous, was named as the deputy boss of the FBI when Trump took office in January, is stepping down. He has another job waiting.
He can go back to his podcast.
A more lucrative job, he says, back in the media, with more credentials now and notoriety than he ever had, presumably naming his salary and responsibilities and looking for a larger hat, one that will now fit his head. Bongino had no FBI experience before Trump chose him to serve in the number 2 position. Prior to Bongino, the role of deputy director had for more than a century been filled by someone who worked at the Bureau. The position does not require Senate confirmation. Andrew Bailey, co-deputy director, has been on the job since September and will stay on for now in the deputy role, reporting to Director Kash Patel. That will happen in January when Bongino is no longer part of the system. Not sure if Bongino was feeling any pressure, but it certainly seemed of late that he dashed for a microphone for most any significant story, sometimes whether the FBI was involved or not.
What?
I can't remember. Yeah, he just any crime in the country, he ran for a microphone.
Remember ever seeing him do that?
You're kidding.
No, not as
he had news
deputy
releases he
director.
put out constantly
Never
as
saw it.
deputy
I
director.
saw Kash Patel,
I did too.
and Pam Bondi, but I never saw Dan Bongino did that. Of course, it could have been that I missed him.
You missed him because he was there regularly. Not sure which case, about a week or so ago, when I saw Bongino giving a news briefing about an event that was unfolding, I asked myself, wonder where the director is. This was directly a director position that he should have been there. It was over last weekend that I got my feelings confirmed about Danny Boy's upcoming departure.
I like him.
You're liking the wrong person.
Yeah, that's your opinion.
Based upon
I like him.
some very serious inside stuff.
Mm-hmm,
Mentioned them
sure.
to a friend who is a retired Secret Service agent. He had not heard the time, asked a few questions, and from what I gathered, things were likely going to happen. They did.
Right.
Medical examiner in the Reiner murder case has determined that death to Rob and Michelle Reiner was due to multiple wounds. What he wrote down, multiple sharp force injuries. The Reiners were killed last weekend in their California mansion. He was 78, she was 68. One of their sons, 32-year-old Nick Reiner, was arrested and faces 2 murder charges. Nick has a history of heavy drug use and had become estranged from the family. The accused killer's attorney said there are a lot of issues he's having to deal with in this case. That, I'm sure, is about the understatement of the year. Attorney Alan Jackson told reporters there are very, very complex and serious issues that are associated with this case that needs to be thoroughly but very carefully dealt with and examined and looked at and analyzed. What did he say? Nothing. And that lawyer mumbo jumbo, not sure that he actually said anything at all. But knowing only what we've been told about the case, Mr. Jackson does have an uphill battle as the defendant's attorney.
Action Jackson.
No doubt he's going to argue that his client is a druggie and is possessed by demons and was not responsible for anything he may have done. Who knows? In Newsom's California, with the DA in charge, that could actually work.
Mm-hmm.
The DA, speaking of which, the DA, first thing he said was, well, we need to know what his mental status is.
Well, I will tell you about Alan Jackson. He is one of the most sought-after criminal defense attorneys. He was Harvey Weinstein's attorney. He was who else was it that got off completely?
Who would have sought him in this case?
It's probably more than likely.
He went looking. He's looking for the notoriety of this one.
Who?
The lawyer.
No,
Jackson.
That's what he does. He
I
does
understand that, but he does them because he enjoys them.
Awesome. And you know what? Even though we know Nick is guilty,
We don't.
I feel like he's guilty. My opinion. Jackson is going to do his job. Yeah, because they're still talking about there may be the death penalty thrown on the table.
Not in California.
And I will tell you that Jackson will make sure that's not even in the mix. He will do his job as a defense attorney. And whether you like it or not, whether the person that's alleged to have done it, whether you feel strongly.
Well, you just said he had done it.
I'm saying, no, in my opinion. But I'm saying it's you feel like. But Alan Jackson, I'm going to tell you what, he's a fantastic criminal defense attorney. He's top.
Based on California's laws, little Nick, if convicted of the charges as they now stand, before the DA sits down and listens while the attorney begs him, could face the death penalty. Not going to happen. He had his first appearance in court to hear the charges against him. He was wearing a suicide prevention vest over a bare upper torso.
Yeah.
Don't ask me why that's important. If you think you're going to be watching a long, drawn-out trial where you learn all of the secrets of those in Hollywood, think again. If a deal is struck after the publicity settles down, Nick will plead guilty and be sentenced to life in prison, maybe without the possibility of parole. Who knows? No witnesses, no sordid details, no nothing. If he wants to be tried, that won't happen for years while many motions are filed to exclude this or exclude that. If the DA wants to go after the death penalty, that's not going to happen. Newsom and all those folks up there are not going to allow it.
Well, but it could be put on the table. I mean, I'm just saying, because there is death penalty in California.
And we could have world peace if the right Miss America is selected.
I mean, more and more information's coming out every day about this. But he was supposed to go for arraignment yesterday. Of course, they had it postponed until January 7th because they do have to give him time, first of all, to come down off all the drugs he was on. He still has to be medically cleared. I mean, and there's still a lot to do. I mean, a case like this, you just can't walk right in. Let's do arraignment right now. The attorneys, both sides need to put their stuff together.
What is an arraignment?
An arraignment, and that's when you go in and the charges are read and you plead, and evidence is not presented in full, but just not the evidence per se, but circumstances. It happened on this night.
Basically, the warrant is read.
Right.
This is what you're charged with.
Right. And then it gives the defendant the opportunity.
He doesn't have to plead either.
He doesn't have to.
No.
You're right. But, this kid's messed up. This kid's got history of. It's going to be an interesting case.
And he should be excused for his actions, right?
No, not at all. He's responsible for his actions. But I'm just saying, Rayford, you take somebody that's just pure evil, comes in off the street and kills somebody, versus someone that's had a history of drugs and mental issues. They're two different cases. Even though they're both committed the crime, you can't look at them the same.
Why?
Because this
guy who's on drugs, self-induced.
Right.
That is not an excuse for doing anything.
17 times he went to rehab. Where's the breakdown?
I don't care.
You may not care, but still.
I don't care.
I know you don't. You're a hard person. You don't care, but there are two different, the
end result is two people are dead, his parents.
Oh, I agree.
If
I agree.
Can be that
and
vicious,
I am not taking up for him, and
if he can be that vicious, I don't care what his excuses are. They're nothing but excuses. They are excuses.
No,
they're not
part
reasons.
of his mental. He's got some deep mental issues, and so he's not going to. They're just not going to say guilty. You get the death penalty. Boom, it's done and over with.
They're not going to allow a death penalty.
He's got all these factors, and we've seen it in a lot of cases though, where people who committed these terrible things may not get as much of a sentence as another person, but you've got drugs and mental. That boy's messed up. He's right where he needs to be, though, but he's messed up.
So we get to pay for him. The people in California get to pay for him.
It's the way the system works.
He's 32 years old.
That's the way the system works.
40 years of his life or so.
That's the way the system works.
Oh, no. When the death penalty is...
If you had your choice, you would take anybody accused and found guilty and take them out to the river and dump them.
No.
Yes, you would.
You're polluting the river. I don't pollute the river.
Yeah, no, this is going to be very, very interesting. A lot of stuff. Gruesome details came out yesterday, which until they lay it out in the court of law, I'm not even entertaining any of it, but it's so sad, so sad. But, I'm thinking, how can he go those years? 15. He was 15 when he first went in to rehab. 15. Where's the breakdown? It went 17 times into rehab. 17 times now.
That's once a year.
Where did we? Where was the breakdown in all this?
Should there be a time when somebody is in repeat rehab, repeat rehab? They're always on drugs. They're always out there. Should there be a time when that becomes a criminal offense?
See, there's one issue right there.
Put them in jail.
That's right. There's an issue right there.
But cops, sheriff's offices, jailers do not want to deal with druggies.
Right.
But if the drug rehab people can't deal with them, and he was 15 when he went into rehab, he's 32 now.
Right.
17 times. That's once a year.
Yeah, if you play
on the
out
average.
that way, yeah, on the
Once a
average,
year.
yes. Right. Where
he goes in and dries out. That's all he does.
This is going to seem cruel, what I'm about to say,
No.
but I don't mean it the way it's going to sound. What about the family?
What about them? They're dead.
I know that, but prior to that, what part did they play in? In his drug problem and his rehab?
Do you think he was entitled? Do you think he considered himself entitled?
I don't know.
He was entitled. He didn't have to worry about money. He lived off the land for a while. He was a homeless person.
Right.
His choice.
I'm just saying there's so many factors in all this.
How many other kids are there in the family?
Two others.
How'd they turn out?
Fine, as far as I know.
So
but that's not an excuse, Ray, for this kid.
Well, I'm talking about as far as the family unit is concerned. They wouldn't have just dissed him. The family was a good family.
I'm not saying that the family dissed him.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying that, no, I'm just saying, could that be one of the factors? There's so many factors in between the time that he was 15 and first went into rehab until now. He's got a long history. Did the rehab reach out and do the mental counseling? Where was the failures is what
rehab can only go as long as you're willing. You understand that?
Oh, I know that.
And was he ordered to go to rehab? Do you know that?
Rayford, we don't know that.
Probably not.
Maybe his parents put him into rehab. Maybe it was a forced rehab.
When he was a kid, probably.
But I'm just saying there is some breakdown somewhere in the system. There are breakdowns. And it's Tim calling. Where did it all go wrong?
Like Chris, we got a bunch of those. Which one?
Thomas.
Jimmy.
Good morning to y'all.
How you on Friday Eve?
On Friday Eve, I spent the night in Santee, South Carolina, so I am getting close to the wilderness. Thank goodness.
Well, at least the mosquitoes are not out this time of year, right?
Ain't that the truth? Man, I love it. The crooks are still out, but the mosquitoes ain't. Just before I got walked in the Huddle House to eat, somebody gone in there and robbed.
Well, the difference in
somebody robbed it?
Yeah, the difference in crooks and mosquitoes. Crooks you can shoot easy. Mosquitoes are hard to hit.
Yeah, they are. Hadn't been gone 5 minutes. And
you walked in to eat after they were robbed or before they were robbed?
Yeah, after.
Okay.
He hadn't been gone 5 minutes. They said he went in the bathroom, stayed in the bathroom a while, came back out. There was some food on the counter, to-go food. Said he grabbed the food, grabbed the cash, and left. And I walked in. I weren't by myself.
Oh, I'm sure you weren't. Good for you. There's a reason for that.
Exactly. But no, I couldn't help but laugh. That's the third time this month. So, yeah, it won't be long. This place will be closed.
Good gracious.
But that's just the way it is. But no, I called to make a little rant about electronic logging devices, otherwise known as ELD. And I have to use one. We've talked about it before. And I left yesterday morning, left Cape Canaveral yesterday morning, went to Midway, Florida, picked up this bulldozer, and on the way back, and I looked, oh man, I got plenty of time to make Santee. And I pulled into Santee, checked my ELD. I had 38 minutes left. That's cool. So I got my computer work done and logged out. I come back this morning, and I logged out. I came back this morning, and I had violation incurred.
You had been driving all night long, weren't you?
I went 8 minutes over, according to the ELD, and I logged out and had 38 minutes left when I logged out. So, I pulled out my little trusty paper log book, and which I still paper log every day, just in case this system malfunctions. And it just thrills me to death. And I couldn't edit it out. It just would not let me edit it out because I knew I was wrong. I mean, I signed out, but evidently the driving time kept running for a little while longer anyway.
Well,
but yeah, that's just what we have to put up with out here. Oh, I hear it. I hear it all the time. My ELD's messed up, blah, blah, blah. So I pull out a paper logbook, and it tickles me, and it means I'm too old when they say, what?
Yeah.
And I'll walk right over there in the truck stop, and I'll grab one. I said, this right here, you're supposed to have one in your truck. Well, I don't have, when I went to driving school, they didn't talk about that. Okay. Well, in by law, you're supposed to have one in the truck in case this ELD screws up. It just thrills me to death about these young kids out here driving and these license issuing schools, and then they go to work for a company, and the trainer ain't been there a year, and he's trying to train them. And then,
Timmy, that little device, that ELB thing you're talking about,
yeah,
it needed a drink of water last night, and you didn't give it one.
It did.
It just needed a drink of
water.
water.
What it was?
That's all it needed. Preferably salt water.
Yeah, well, it'd been better off I'd have dumped it off in Lake Marion because I went over.
No, Lake Marion is fresh water. It can be cleaned.
Yeah.
Salt water is one and done. A cup of a coffee with sugar in it works too.
Oh yeah. Oh, you're right. You're right. And it'll make it a whole lot help. Well, I'm been ranting and raving over this mess ever since they give it to me because it's always wrong. And I just looked at them. I won't even show it to a DMV officer. So, well, what do you mean you've got to? No, I don't. I just tell him it's broken. And how long has it been broken? Well, it broke yesterday. That means I got 5 days to have it fixed. So here's my paper logbook, which they don't even ask for. I went through yesterday. Went through four way stations. The day before, went through 4. And the only thing, Georgia looked at me when they stopped me. I pulled in there. I handed them my permit. Have a great day. Florida, I had to go through the ag station. I don't know why. I guess
with
they
a
thought I
bulldozer?
was going to push down. Yeah, I thought I was going to push going in the soybeans. Got to go through it, though.
Oh,
I
Lord
get
mercy.
my thumbs up. Go through the weigh station. And
Make sure you didn't have any bugs on board.
yeah. Make sure I didn't have any orange trees. Back in the 90s, that was the big thing.
Oh, well, even before then, that was the thing. Back in California, because I went there across that line a couple of times. Ugh.
Yeah. Are you sure you come out of Florida, buddy? They check you for orange trees, and if you had one, it better have an ID number on it.
Really?
And I called it a corn plant. It looked like corn, but it was called a corn plant. And I moved out of Florida. I carried a horse trailer, and I had that corn plant in the very end of it. The leaves were hanging out of it. They ran me down.
Really?
Yeah. Wow.
Ran me down. I mean, I went through them, went through the ag station and left, and next time I got blue lights behind me. And I pull over, and the guy gets out, and he said, "Oh, that's not an orange tree, is it?" No, sir, it's not. They said, "We were just checking orange trees." I said, "Orange trees?" Yeah. They got to have an ID number if they come in or out of Florida. Okay. And I just stood there and laughed at him, and he didn't think it was funny, but I did.
I would have.
I would. I thought it was funny.
Buddy, I appreciate this, sir. I do a comedy routine from time to time, and guess who's starring next time?
Yep, that's it. Now, I don't know if they still do. I probably do.
Who knows?
Probably do. All right, I'm done fussing.
All right.
Y'all enjoy it. I'll be back in Wilmington in about 2 hours and unload this thing. But yeah, it's been a good run. And I have enjoyed it. But I will see y'all later. I have
Okay.
enjoyed the show.
Thank you.
Thank
All right.
you.
You be good. Bye.
Oh my gosh.
You ever get stopped driving at any of those state lines and want to inspect you for fruit or anything like that? California used to do it. You drive into California, if you carry some fruit into California, buddy, because they don't want anything coming to California that might have a bug in it that they can't get that catches onto their fruit or orange trees.
Wow. Well, just got word somebody else has thrown their hat in the ring for the North Carolina 3rd District. Allison Jaslow. She's a former CEO of IAVA, 2-time Iraq war vet and candidate for North Carolina's 3rd Congressional District. Don't know much else about her right now. I'll have to research.
Okay, tomorrow is Friday.
Yes.
Bring us up. Today's the day, right?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow's the last day.
Tomorrow's the last day.
Okay, bring us up to speed in the morning. What we got going in locally and congressionally? That's what we've got to deal with right now. We got a congressional race.
Well, yesterday.
That's the only federal race for us, right?
Yes, yesterday I met Philip Smith, and did I say his name was Philip Smith? I think so. He is also running for North Carolina 3rd Congressional District Congress, U.S. Congress. He is from Goldsboro, lives in Goldsboro. He served on the North Carolina House of Representatives 2 terms, another vet, Army vet. And I talked to him yesterday, and he should be coming on the show soon. We've got to, he lives in Goldsboro, but he said he'd be willing to come here. So
tell him we'd like him to bring a tank. I want us to see a tank.
Yeah, but I just got this one, and I don't know. I don't know what if she's Republican, Democrat, unaffiliated was. So I'll find out. Oh, she's followed by Jake Tapper. Well, that doesn't really mean much. No, because I know there's some celebrities that if you follow them, they'll follow you back. So
just adds to their numbers. That's the reason.
That's right. Yeah, I've got a few that I know they're not. I don't ever post on X, very seldom, but they follow me only because I click their follow button. So yes, Jennifer. Yep.
Hi, Kaz. How you doing up there in the hills of Tennessee?
Oh, I'm doing good. I just wanted to call in and weigh in on the Nick Reiner killing his parents, the drug abuse.
Yep.
And my thing is, okay, his parents were extremely wealthy. Mm-hmm. They had the means, but when you and we know about this case because of who his parents are.
Yep.
But how many families in this country for years, and I'm talking years, have struggled that do not have the means to put their children into rehab, to get them all of this stuff. And that's the breakdown, in my opinion. This just brings to light how horrible the drug abuse can be when somebody is just absolutely so messed up that they do that to their parents. But how many, and I'll get personal. I'll get very personal. My brother, which is deceased, struggled, and I saw it absolutely. My mother has been dead for 40 years. I saw this absolutely tear her apart. I lived it. I lived in a house with it. I saw it. And it's real easy for people that have never, ever experienced have never actually known somebody that is literally unreachable. My mom died and did not even want him at the hospital. My dad tried his dead level best. He tried, and they both did. But after the fact, years later, my dad tried, and my brother would get cleaned up for a while and then go right back, to the point that when my dad died, there was absolutely no contact. I had to find out about my brother dying by somebody calling and saying, "Hey, I think your brother died." And I had to track it down, track the funeral home and all that, and sure enough it was. But until it's real easy to play armchair quarterback. But what people don't understand is there are families in this country, in this world, that are dealing with this, that are not the millionaires, the billionaires, that don't get all the national coverage, that are staying up thinking, what kind, is he going to come home? What kind of condition is he going to be in when he gets here? And it's a sad, there needs the drug abuse. It goes a lot further and a lot deeper and reaches so many communities and households that people just don't stop and think, you know, there's other people dealing with this that don't know what to do, don't have the means and all of this to do this, because it costs to put people in places. There are no more institutions and stuff like that. It costs to put people in rehab.
Jennifer, you mentioned that, and everything seems to come back to money for a lot of folks, and I understand that, both in politics and everything else. If you don't have the money, you're not going to get elected. If you don't have the money, you're not going to get treated. They had the money. They spent the money 17 times. They put the boy in rehab. Somebody paid for it. He didn't pay for it. They paid for it. No. It did not matter how much money they had. It mattered not.
Right.
If they had billions of dollars, it did not matter. That almighty drug is worse, is more habilitating than anybody out there will admit.
But what you need to look at is he had, okay, let's say going into rehab. My brother went into rehab one time that my dad had to borrow money to put him in there for a week to try and dry him up off of heroin. And all he did was move to something else.
Well,
this guy had 16 more trips into rehab than what my brother had.
And the same purpose was served. And the same purpose was served. It did him no good either.
Right. So I just wanted to, it's, people get all up in the air about, well, there's no, they think that drug abuse and all that is somebody else's problem. No, it's not. It's a whole lot more people's problem, and it is a trickle down. It's a trickle down effect. My brother's drug abuse didn't just affect him. And yes, I turned out halfway decent, but I saw what that did to my brother and family. So, he had a child that, as far as I know, probably doesn't even know that he's dead, because nobody knew, I don't even know where she's at anymore. It reaches so people than just, and back, my brother's 8 years older than me. So, I mean, I was in school. He was already out and all of this stuff going on. And back in that day, you didn't talk about this stuff. No.
What did he die from, Jennifer?
You didn't. He had a heart attack from what the funeral home told me.
From what the funeral home told you?
He had, yep.
How would they know that?
They get the death certificate, don't they?
Yeah,
they
but
read it off
that
of
just
that?
means that, but unless there's an autopsy performed, how do you know what a heart attack caused it?
My brother had COPD.
Okay.
He was having a heart attack. This is what was told to me.
Okay.
They responded. He refused to go to the hospital,
Okay.
and he was conscious. He refused treatment, and the lady that they said he was married to, I don't know. I'm assuming he was. He later on in the day, he started having another heart attack, and she called 911, and he was dead before they could get there.
Yeah.
The reason I know all of this is when I tracked it down, he was living over on the coast. And it was a funeral home in Morehead City that had him. I cannot remember the name. And when I called, they said, well, we would appreciate you coming, because I asked if I could go in, and I said, all I want to do is to see the body. I just want to see him. And he said, they set up a time for me to go because he was going to be cremated. And he said, if you don't mind, I need to ask you some questions. And I said, okay. They did not, to file the death certificate, that you have to have certain information on there, if at all possible.
Yep.
The lady that my brother was married to did not know my parents' names, did not know anything about my brother's family, us at all. He said, now you're his sister? And I said, yeah. And he said, biological? And I said, yeah. Same parents? Yep. They did not know. She could not answer any question about my parents' names, where they were born.
If she couldn't produce a marriage certificate, you're not married. That's what I would have said to her.
Well, as far as now they said it was his wife. As far as I know, they were married.
Yeah, well.
But she did not have any information. It was like she and my brother had never talked about
probably
who anybody was.
They probably didn't,
But yeah, and I will tell you that I would have bet the farm. I would have bet everything I had that it would not have bothered me that my brother died. And it didn't bother me until I saw him laying there.
Sure.
And this girl come unglued. And so, because at the end of the day, he was still my brother.
It's your brother.
And I told Terry, I said, I think I wasn't crying at the loss of a brother. I was crying for the loss of what could have been.
Or should have been.
Because we never had a relationship.
Oh, wow.
And never had a relationship that mounted to a hill of beans. So that was just my 2 cents worth. That just a different perspective. And I hate to get, that's something that I don't talk a lot about, but sometimes it needs to be said.
We, the people out here in the general public, we have no idea about the people who we know, that we think we know, that we walk, that we're friends with, that we have dinner with, that we work with. We don't know that much about them. We know what they will tell us. And that's all. That's
right.
it.
That's right.
And,
that's right.
And that's all. So anyway.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for sharing, Jennifer.
All right.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Okay. Y'all have a great day.
You too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
That's just what I'm saying. There's so
You just
much
don't know.
breakdown. You don't
There's
know.
breakdown, but what are you going to do?
I'm not saying parents are guilty or
Right.
didn't do their job. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying somewhere in all those years, something just was not being.
We do not have a system in this country to deal with this. There is
Right.
no system. We can throw people in rehab. As Jennifer said, got a week to dry out.
Right.
How do you think you can dry out from heroin in a week? No.
Somebody like that young man
Nick. Not going to happen. Nick
came right back out and right back into it.
Regardless of what he did or went through in rehab, it obviously did not matter. It didn't amount to a hill of beans. I do not know what his latest status is. I do not know if he was still using drugs. Do you? We haven't heard. We don't know. I saw him walking into and out of a store on video. He didn't seem to be he looked fairly decent, looked healthy all the way around.
He did. Oh, there's witness reports early in the evening. Their opinion
now
was that he looked tweaked, and this was at the party, but we don't know.
That's now they know that. But they know that at the time, or do they just want to make the news? You don't know.
You don't know. That's what I'm saying.
Those folks like that are unreliable. We all know that. I hope there will be some kind of a peace arrived and available for his surviving kids.
I hope so too.
For their surviving kids, I'm sorry.
So sad.
And any other family members. I don't know how extensive, how wide his family is.
The anger that young man had in his soul when he attacked his parents the way he did.
And what was the anger about? And when was the argument? I'm hearing there was an argument prior to. Don't know. I'm hearing. That means
there's a lot of little stuff coming out. But
nothing. We may or may not know.
We may never know.
The smartest thing that the guy could do, if he's got all this stuff hanging over him, is let my lawyer make the best deal that he can.
Exactly.
And get the death penalty away, take the death penalty off, let me plead guilty, serve the rest of my life in prison. But he'll probably be pardoned at some point in time.
And I believe that's what you'll see. Oh, yeah, it was Kevin Spacey, the Alan Jackson also representative, and he got him completely absolved of that.
But if this guy did it, he does not need to be absolved of anything. He needs to.
I agree.
Time.
You know, I know. I mean,
okay, we got to go. Who we got tomorrow? Nobody.
Not yet.
It's Friday.
It's Friday.
We'll have somebody tomorrow. We need somebody.
Yeah, we've got.
We need really.
Other ones that I had scheduled for this week have been moved to next week. So.
Well, who are they?
I don't see her make a list right now. I mean,
You should just be able to grasp that out of thin air.
We'll list it and we'll let you know in advance.
Have a great rest of your day. Y'all be careful out there. We got some declining weather coming our way again. It's going to be some water. And I don't need any more water. I got enough water out there in that yard. It's still spongy.
Not mine. I need some rain. Bring it on.
Oh, give me a pipeline. I will collect it and send it your way.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right. Tomorrow's is Friday. Next week is Christmas week.
I just feel so sad that
I have no idea what
a football game to go to tomorrow night.
Or tonight. We could go tonight to a football game. We could go even Saturday night. We've been Saturday night.
Starting the basketball.
You're live and local Real Talk where we're awake, not woke. Chris will be back tomorrow. I think he'll have his Reese under control. No, he's not back tomorrow.
We'll
Maybe.
see.
Okay.
Maybe.
Some of that. Well, we'll find out. I know he's got a lot of work to get done.
He's got a lot going on right now.
Right.
So
we'll see you in the morning. Have a great day. Be safe. Bye.